Welcome to today's deep dive. We're unpacking a really fascinating new article today by AI thought leader Johan Steyn.
Yeah, it's a great piece.
It really is. It's titled "The Future of HR is Strategic, Not Administrative." And the mission for us today is to figure out how AI isn't just, speeding up human resources, but fundamentally redefining it.
Exactly. Because he draws on some massive recent data, right? Like from SHRM, McKinsey, BCG, Deloitte, and HR Dive.
Right, it's a mountain of data. And I was thinking about how to frame this, and I keep coming back to this analogy. Think of HR as the engine room of a ship.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, so for decades, the crew down there has been so bogged down, just like tightening bolts and fixing leaks.
Handling paperwork, policy compliance, all of that.
Exactly. They haven't had a single second to even look at the map. They're just keeping the ship from sinking.
And that's exactly why HR is so uniquely suited for this kind of automation. It's so deeply process-driven. It's just incredibly document-heavy. And the focus today, and what Steyn points out, isn't just about making that engine room faster. It's about making it more valuable.
Right, which brings me to why this matters to you, listening right now. Whether you actually work in HR, or you manage a team, or honestly, even if you just occasionally interact with your company's benefits portal.
Which is all of us, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You need to hear this because the way your workplace operates is about to change drastically.
It really is. But before we look at where it's going, we definitely have to understand the reality of where HR is right now.
And how unbelievably fast it's changing.
Right. So let's look at the 2025 SHRM data. They found that 43% of organizations are now using AI in their HR tasks.
43%.
Yeah, 43.
Good.
And what's wild is that's a massive jump from just 26% back in 2024.
That is a huge leap for 1 year.
It is. And we need to be clear, this isn't some theoretical future state. It's highly operational right now.
Like what kind of tasks?
Recruitment workflows, interview scheduling, onboarding. Wow.
Yeah, handling policy queries and even complex employee self-service portals.
Okay, let's unpack this because if AI is just doing like interview scheduling and answering basic policy questions, isn't this just a glorified auto-reply system? Like,
Yeah.
how does that actually change the core of HR?
What's fascinating here is that while these tasks seem small individually, collectively they consume the vast majority of an HR department's time.
Oh, I see. It's a volume issue.
Exactly. By reducing that administrative friction, you're suddenly freeing up these highly capable professionals from, low-value activity.
Right.
Because the real tragedy of modern HR is that brilliant people are literally trapped doing routine administration.
So they finally get their time back. But wait, if adoption is happening at this lightning speed like 43%, then logically, companies should be reaping massive benefits right now.
I think we think so, yeah.
But the data reveals this completely shocking disconnect, which leads us to the real bottleneck here.
Yeah, the January 2025 McKinsey Workplace Report completely blew my mind on this.
It's wild.
The contrast is staggering because almost all companies are investing heavily in AI, but only a tiny 1% actually describe themselves as mature in deployment.
Just 1%. That's
Yeah.
almost nothing. So what does this all mean? Like,
Right.
if the technology is available and HR desperately needs the help, why are 99% of companies still struggling to deploy it effectively? Is it like employee resistance?
No, and that's the common assumption, right? But looking at the McKinsey findings, the biggest barrier is actually not the employees at all.
Oh, really?
It is leadership.
Ah, the C-suite.
Exactly. Leaders are just failing to steer the ship quickly enough because deploying AI isn't just about buying a software license and plugging it in.
Right. It's not just an IT upgrade.
Not at all. It requires a willingness to completely redesign workflows at this very complex intersection of people, process, capability, and organizational change. So leadership basically needs to rethink the whole structure, which naturally makes me ask, if we eliminate the administrative busy work, what exactly should HR be doing with all this new free time?
Yeah, and that's where the 2026 BCG insights come in. They state that HR now has this critical role across the entire enterprise.
The entire company, not just their own department.
Right, because the real value of AI comes from changing people and processes, not just adding new tech. And HR are the experts in people and processes.
That makes total sense. And if you couple that with Deloitte's 2025 research on what they call AI and agent-powered recruiting.
Oh yeah, that is completely reshaping the talent acquisition lifecycle.
Right. So where does that leave the human HR worker?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, this is Johan Steyn's core thesis. HR has to shift from being an administrative service desk to a specialist advisory function.
It's a specialist advisory function.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, meaning HR professionals will now focus on advising leaders on actual workforce capability, redesigning jobs, identifying the skills we'll need in the future, and really shaping company culture.
Here's where it gets really interesting. It's like HR is evolving from being the policy police,
Yeah, the referees.
right, the referees of the company,
Yeah.
into being the strategic head coaches.
Yeah.
They're focused on actually winning the game rather than just enforcing the rules.
That is the exact shift we're talking about.
And think about your own workplace for a second. When was the last time you viewed your HR representative as a strategic business partner rather than just, the person you email when you lose your password to the payroll site?
Right. Most people just see them as the compliance desk.
Exactly. But honestly, this all sounds like a perfect utopia. The AI handles all the boring stuff, and the humans get to handle the high-level strategy.
It sounds great on paper.
It does. But this immediately raises a huge red flag for me about how much power we are actually willing to hand over to a machine.
And you are not alone in that. The January 2026 HR Dive report tackles this exact tension.
Yeah, what did they find?
Well, despite all this excitement, HR professionals are strictly drawing a line in the sand.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, they're completely comfortable using AI for repetitive, low-risk tasks like scheduling or initial resume screening, but they absolutely do not trust AI to make serious workforce decisions.
But wait, humans are incredibly biased. We know this. Wouldn't a machine technically be more objective at, say, evaluating talent or deciding who gets promoted? Why hold back on the big decisions if the math is sound?
This raises an important question, and it's something Steyn addresses directly. It's the concept of human elevation versus human replacement.
Okay, human elevation.
Right. AI has tons of data, sure, but it completely lacks nuance, it lacks context, and it lacks empathy.
Oh, I see. The data shows what happened, but not why.
Exactly. The right model leaves sound judgment and ultimate accountability resting firmly with human beings. You can't just tell someone they're fired because an algorithm said so.
Wow. Yeah, that would destroy company trust instantly.
It would. AI is just a tool to elevate the HR professional. It's not there to replace their ultimate decision-making power.
So to synthesize all these massive implications for everyone listening, what are the final takeaways here?
Well, it's twofold. First, for business leaders, do not just use AI for basic efficiency. You have to use it to fundamentally redesign the HR function itself.
You can't just pave over a cow path, basically.
Exactly. And second, for HR professionals, the reality is the job is getting harder, not easier.
Because the easy stuff is automated.
Right. You're going to need much more commercial understanding, deep data confidence, and real change management skills. You can't just know HR policy anymore. You must know the business.
That is a huge shift in skill sets. And it leaves me with one final kind of provocative thought for you to ponder as we wrap up today's deep dive.
Yeah, let's hear it.
If AI successfully absorbs all the cold transactional tasks of the workplace, the forms, the scheduling, the compliance, is it possible that the highly automated workplace of the future will actually end up feeling more human?
Oh, wow.
Because the only role left for HR will be those purely empathetic human-to-human connections that a machine can never replicate. Think about that next time you hear someone say AI is going to make work robotic.
That's a really powerful way to look at it.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. Keep questioning the world around you, and we'll catch you next time.